Happy Saturday. I just woke up with the idea to do a video about some of the resources that I've been finding at different events that I went to. So recently I went to the Are You Ready to Be Grown conference where I was a vendor for my book. We all know about my book. And I found a couple different resources that I wanted to share. I feel like the more you know, the better you can kind of directly align yourself with situations. Sometimes there's resources out there that you were never aware about, and that's kind of what I came across. So the first resource that I wanted to share was Education Matters, and it is not only a radio show and a TV broadcast, but it is also a reading and resource center, which is an after-school program for 1st to 8th graders. So that's in Aiken. However, if there are things like that in South Carolina, wherever you are, there has to be something comparable, and if it's not, you should start it, period. The next thing that I learned about was an author. Her name is Cummings Koski, and she wrote a book called Money Letters to My Daughter, and she also does training, workshops, consulting, and she does keynote speeches. I think finances, especially when it comes to certain ethnicities, I'm black, so I will say that in the black community, a lot of people are financially ignorant, and people like Miss Jackie have to put out literature and help people help themselves. So again, her name is Cummings Koski, and she also has a Facebook page, LinkedIn, and a Twitter, but I have her card, and I thought it was really interesting that she chose to write a book called Money Letters to My Daughter. It took me a while to learn about finances, and I'm still learning every day. While I was at the conference, I sat next to a group called the Success Team, and I think they're pretty dope. It's a group of like-minded individuals, relatively young, and what they want to do is build and develop within the aspiring generations, generally younger than them, and they created a platform for you to kind of help yourself. So it's like supporting you and providing you with resources and different events and things of that nature to help you attain your dreams and your goals. So again, that is the Success Team, and they travel. They do stuff in South Carolina and Georgia. The next organization that I want to talk about is True to Your Soul, SOLE, and it's run by a guy, and his name is Denzel Washington. And it's so interesting because initially he started True to Your Soul as a sneaker forum, but he turned it into something that is good for the community. So he pretty much wants to bring together young and old generations to ensure that they learn how important education is and how important life is. So he does a lot of giving back to the community, but he also does a lot with sneakers. And he recently did a back-to-school drive where they gave away tons of sneakers at their events. So True to Your Soul, SOLE, and it's Denzel Washington, Denzel with 2 L's. The next resource, and I thought it was really great, I had a really great conversation with this gentleman. It's called Academics Unraveled, and their motto is when you know better. And when you know better, you do better, obviously. But this is Academics Unraveled. Some people, like me, when you go to school, you don't necessarily know all of what's going on. So some of their services are capstone project review, dissertation coaching, oral defense preparation, syllabus navigation, which is so important. Sometimes syllabuses, when you get them, they look so foreign to you, and this organization will help break it down for you. Social media branding, student-faculty relations, and career alignment. So again, that is Academics Unraveled. One of the cool things that I learned was this organization is called Learning Disabilities of South Carolina. And the whole thing that they do, the LDA, they create opportunities for those with learning disabilities. So many people have ADD, ADHD or dyslexia or things of that nature, and they don't necessarily know how to navigate through education or just how to go about creating their own success. So this organization specifically does that for you. One of the most interesting things that I got to do was talk to this group. education outreach specialist. Her name is Gladys Moore, and she works at Savannah River Nuclear Solutions. And pretty much what I got to do with her was pick my career. Granted, I'm 31 and I know what, my strengths and my weaknesses are, but they play a game called Deal Me In. And it's a card game, and I'm trying to order it actually. But it's a card game, and based on how you sort everything, it pretty much directs you or puts the career paths in front of you based on the cards that you pick. And then when you pick your career based on color, they have fact sheets that show you exactly what your strengths and weaknesses are, what your specific career fields could and should be. So it's really informational. Just a lot of cool stuff. I feel like some people don't necessarily know what their career path could or should be based on their personality traits. So this game, Deal Me In, is what helps you do it. It's a career, it's by the company called Career Systems International. And it was developed to help you pick your career. So mine was yellow, which is social personality. And it just talked about different careers that I could do, which I already knew. I was well aware, but it was great to have that kind of affirmation. So education matters. Money letters to my daughter, success team, true to yourself, academics unraveled, learning objectives, and the Deal Me In game are all things that I learned while I was at the Are You Ready to Be Grown conference. In between everything, I walked to each booth just to get business cards and to kind of see what's out there. The resource that I wanted to share that I learned about is called Petersons.com. And I am trying to go back to school next summer. And I was looking at, it's my atonement. It's my way of figuring out how to go to school and not be in so much debt. I don't want to take out loans. I know that I can do this. All I have to do is research. So I discovered this site called Petersons.com, and it's pretty much a scholarship search engine, but to me, it seemed way easier than anything that I've done in the past. Like, Googling is one thing, because a lot of times when you Google different research scholarships, for me, I kept getting calls from different universities and people who want me to go back to school and people who want to help me. I don't want you to help me. I know what I want to do. Let me figure it out. This Petersons website, I created a profile, which was quick and easy, and then immediately after I did my profile, I did a search. I hit graduate school because I want to go back for my second master's, and then I typed in communications, and it proceeded to present 33 different scholarships that I qualify for. It was quick, it was easy, it looked legit, and it wasn't a bunch of advertisements scrolling down the screen. It was the best resource that I've seen so far, and I've been looking. So it's Petersons.com. So that is my 8 resources that I wanted to share with you on this video today. And I just believe that health is wealth, and I believe that if you find things, you should share them with other people. So that's what I wanted to do on today. But I did also want to talk about some things and kind of get on a soapbox, because this week has been a lot for me. So I'm doing a college prep program, and I've been advertising it, and I only have one person, and I'm not mad about it. But it made me think a lot about whenever there's good information out there or someone trying to give back or do something, many times people are hesitant, or you have no validity, so they don't necessarily support you. Or you're putting yourself out there and no one is being receptive to it, which is fine. And then I read a meme earlier this week and said, why don't black businesses succeed? And I was thinking about the lack of support. Again, I'm black, so I'm saying it. I feel like there's a lack of support in the black community when it comes to new entrepreneurs. When people are starting businesses, you don't get the full support that you want, or everybody wants a discount, or everybody wants a hookup. People, question your validity. And I just feel like sometimes people don't want to be helped, or sometimes people can't see the good in what you're doing. When people create businesses or are trying to provide resources, they're overlooked so many times for multiple reasons. And then it sounds shady, but I'm still gonna say it. At the conference that I went to, I feel like a lot of the academic tables didn't get a lot of attention. People were more interested in conversing to themselves or looking at sneakers. And I feel like I probably would have done the same thing at my age, especially at 16 or 17. Like, let's look at these cool tops. Let's look at these sneakers. But there's people trying to provide information to you. And, I mean, we can't spoon feed it to you. We can't shove it down your throat. But there's so many resources out there and so many people who want to give back and so many people who want to help. But it seems like you can't see it for what it is. So, it bothers me. I just wish that people wanted to have what's there. You can't get to college and just wing it. That's why there's programs like Academics Unraveled. There's a lot to learn. There's a lot to do. And if there are people that are trying to provide it to you, take a moment of your time and listen. Grab a business card. Grab some information. Health is wealth. You have to be able to plan for your future, and going to events and looking at all that's glitter instead of some of the things that are below the hood is not going to get you as far as you want to get. So I just wish that people wanted to learn more, or people wanted to have that information right in front of them. I haven't seen that a lot. Even when I would speak at some of the schools that I go to, some of the kids would pay attention, but many wouldn't. And some kids would make jokes while I'm talking. I felt like it could be different. But no matter the environment I'm in, no matter the age bracket, there's always a small percentage of people who are really listening to the information that I'm trying to put out and share. And then there's everybody else who's just doing what they want to do. But when the time comes when you have to apply for colleges, or when you are getting ready for internships, or when you really need to have known some of the things that people were trying to pass on to you, you're not going to know because you didn't listen, because you're looking for all the bells and whistles and all that glitters. But there's people out here who start organizations and people out here who want to do good within their communities. Give them a second of your time. Treat them with respect. Give them a little bit of validity, and you might get a little bit further. That's all that I'm saying. I just feel like when people try to create things, they don't get the support or the reaction that they want, but they're trying to do good. There's so many people that are trying to do good. I met a girl who works at the library on Lady Walker, and she says they're thinking about closing that library because they're not getting enough flow. So there's no one in that community is taking advantage of the resources that are at that library, and now that library may be in jeopardy of closing. I just think about so many things that people are trying to do, and they're not getting the support or the reaction from the community or the audience that they're reaching out to. And that's just the unfortunate situation that we live in. So that's just me talking. But thank you for watching, and I'm glad that I was able to provide some resources for you all. If you have questions about the things that I mention it below in the comments or message me, and I would love to keep the conversation going. I hope you guys enjoy your Saturday.